In 2015, a Venezuelan heart surgeon named Carlos Medina stood outside his bank in Caracas. The doors were locked. His savings, 23 years of 12-hour shifts, of holding human hearts in his hands, were gone. The bolivar had collapsed. His life's work was now worth less than a dinner in Miami. 6 miles away, at a private airstrip outside the city, a family he had never met was boarding a Gulfstream jet to Panama. Their luggage was light. Their bank accounts were untouched. Not because they were luckier. Not because they were smarter. But because 3 years earlier, while Carlos was still trusting the system, they had already built their exit. Same country. Same crisis. Same morning. Completely different outcomes. This is the story nobody tells you about economic collapse. It does not hit everyone equally. It never has. The wealthy do not experience crisis the way you do. They do not experience it at all. Because by the time you feel it, they have already gone. And they knew exactly where to go. This is the Wealth Records, where every video changes how you see money, history, and the systems controlling your life. If you are new here, subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss what comes next. Here is the question. Do you think the system is designed to protect you, or to protect them? Drop your honest answer below. This one matters. While ordinary people save in one currency, in one bank, in one country, and pray that nothing goes wrong, the ultra-wealthy operate on a completely different logic. They assume everything will go wrong. And they build accordingly. Second passports. Not 1, 2, 3. Citizenships in Malta, Portugal, St. Kitts, Vanuatu. Countries that sell citizenship through investment programs that most people have never heard of and could never afford. A Maltese passport costs over $1 million. A St. Kitts passport costs $250,000. For that price, you buy the right to leave when everyone else is trapped. Offshore bank accounts in Switzerland, Singapore, the Cayman Islands. Not to evade taxes, although some certainly do. But to make sure that when one country's banking system freezes, their money is already sitting safely in another. Properties on 3, 4, 5 continents. London. Dubai. Auckland. Not because anyone needs 5 homes. But because in a crisis, a home in a stable country is not a luxury. It is a lifeboat. You and I diversify our investments. They diversify their entire existence. And that single difference determines who survives and who does not. Here is something they will never teach you in school. In every financial crisis in recorded history, money moves before people do. Always. Without exception. The pattern is mathematical. Predictable. Almost boring in its consistency. First, the wealthy convert local currency into hard assets. Gold, silver, farmland. Things that cannot be printed, devalued, or seized with a keystroke. Then they move capital to stable jurisdictions. Trusts in Liechtenstein. Foundations in Panama. Accounts in Singapore. When Venezuela began to weaken in 2010 and 2011, ordinary Venezuelans still believed Hugo Chavez. The wealthy did not believe. They moved. Miami. Panama City. Madrid. Quietly. No announcements. No headlines. Just wire transfers and real estate purchases. By the time the bolivar collapsed, by the time inflation reached 1,000,000%, by the time children were dying in hospitals without medicine, the money was already gone. Not destroyed. Just relocated. When the Russian ruble crashed in 2014, ordinary Russians watched their savings evaporate overnight. The oligarchs barely noticed. Their wealth was already sitting in Mayfair townhouses, Swiss vaults, and Dubai towers. The crash destroyed the middle class. It inconvenienced the elite. And here is the part that should make you uncomfortable. This is not a bug in the system. It is the system. Wealth does not disappear in a crisis. It transfers. From those who trusted governments to those who understood governments. From those who waited to those who moved. From you to them. Every single time. Money leaves first. People leave second. And the wealthy have that choreographed like a military operation. Private aviation is the centerpiece. When commercial flights are grounded, when borders are closing, when airports are drowning in desperate crowds, the ultra-wealthy are boarding private jets from private terminals with private security. No lines. No passports stamped. No questions asked. And the destinations are not random. They are selected with the precision of a war strategy. New Zealand. Remote, self-sufficient, nuclear-free, politically stable. Peter Thiel bought a 477-acre lakefront estate there. He is not alone. Half of Silicon Valley has property in New Zealand. It is the billionaire bunker. Switzerland. Neutral for 500 years. Your money is safer there than in any country on earth. Singapore. Rule of law, zero chaos, access to all of Asia. Dubai. No income tax, no questions, and a government that treats the wealthy like royalty. Each destination chosen not for comfort, for survivability. These people do not have escape plans. They have escape ecosystems. Security teams. Armored vehicles. Helicopter extraction routes. Invisible until activated. Operational within hours. But the greatest advantage the wealthy have is not their money. It is not their passports. It is not their jets. It is what they know. And when they know it. The ultra-wealthy do not get their information from CNN or Twitter. They get it from private intelligence firms. Kroll. Control risks. Stratfor. Companies that employ former CIA analysts, MI6 officers, and military strategists to provide one service. Early warning. These firms monitor currency instability, political coups, capital control legislation, and social unrest across 190 countries. Their reports land on the desks of billionaires, sovereign wealth funds, and family offices weeks or months before the same information reaches the public. When a government is about to freeze bank accounts, the wealthy already know. When a currency is about to be devalued, the wealthy have already converted. When a region is about to explode, the wealthy have already left. You find out from a breaking news notification on your phone. They found out from a classified briefing 6 weeks ago. This is the information asymmetry that no one talks about. Not because it is secret, but because acknowledging it destroys the comfortable illusion that the system treats everyone the same. It does not. It never has. And understanding that is the first step toward protecting yourself. This pattern is not new. It is centuries old. And it has never once been broken. French Revolution, 1789. The aristocrats who survived were not the bravest or the most loyal. They were the ones who had sent their gold to London and their families to Geneva before the guillotine started falling. Those who stayed and trusted the system lost their wealth. Many lost their heads. Russian Revolution, 1917. The families who had diversified across European banks kept their fortunes. Those who kept everything in Russia lost it all overnight when the Bolsheviks declared private property abolished. Nazi Germany, 1930s. The families who read the signs early, who moved assets and themselves out of the country, survived. Those who told themselves it could not get that bad, did not survive. Venezuela, 2010s. The identical pattern. The wealthy read the collapse years before it arrived. The middle class trusted the government. The wealthy left. The middle class lost everything. For different centuries. For different continents. For different ideologies. One identical outcome. Crises do not destroy wealth. They redistribute it. From the trusting to the prepared. From those without options to those who bought their options years in advance. Now here is what matters. You may not be able to buy a second passport. You may not be able to afford a private intelligence firm. But you can understand the framework and apply it at your own scale. The framework has 3 pillars. Diversify beyond one system. Hold more than one currency. Bank in more than one institution. Do not let one government control 100% of your financial life. Own hard assets. Even small amounts of gold, silver, or property outside your home country reduce your dependence on any single system. Buy information before you need it. Study geopolitics. Understand monetary policy. Learn how currencies collapse. The knowledge is free. The ignorance is expensive. You do not need to be wealthy to think like the wealthy. You just need to start before the crisis does. Here is the uncomfortable truth that no government, no politician, and no news channel will ever tell you. The system is not designed to protect you during a crisis. It is designed to maintain order. And maintaining order means keeping you calm, keeping you still, and keeping you trusting the system until the people who run it have already secured themselves. Capital controls. Bank freezes. Currency devaluations. Travel restrictions. Every single one of these tools is designed to trap ordinary people's wealth inside a failing system while the wealthy have already moved theirs out. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is documented history. It has happened dozens of times across dozens of countries. And it will happen again. The only question is whether you will be ready. Carlos Medina, the surgeon from Caracas, eventually made it out. He walked across the Colombian border with nothing. 23 years of saving, gone in a month. 6 miles away, that private jet had landed safely in Panama 3 years earlier. Same country. Same crisis. Different preparation. Different outcome. In a crisis, the system does not fail. It reveals who it was built for. History has the answers. The wealth records will show you where to look. Subscribe.